Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, I want to go over something new I've been working on. I've always wanted to do a 24 scale truck, but never really got too into it to do it. But I've been watching a bunch of videos like 24 Yep and a couple other guys and got really fired up. So I went ahead and built one, and here it is. So it's like a mini-me version of my other truck. So if you see my other truck, the Poise truck with a Junior Mortician body on it. I wanted to make one as close as possible to look like, just for fun. It's just really something to play around the house, get out every now and then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this camera around and we're going to go over what all's done to it, what the parts involved, and what I did to make it work as good as it does. And then I'm going to have some video out at Moss Rock of it doing its thing. So only got one battery, so there's only going to be a limited amount of runtime, but I think we should have some pretty cool lines. So I'm going to get this camera turned around. We'll see what we're working with. Okay, so here it is. This is my mini-me 24 scale crawler. Looks a lot like its big brother there. We'll start off just showing you. Let's start off with the body. The body, I wanted something that looked as much like this one as possible. So this is what I came up with. This is a WT Micro 3D printed body. I took and cut it, kind of hacked it up, kind of like the other body as much as I could. It's a little different because it's got the windows and stuff. So let's pop this thing off here and look at it. So I painted a similar paint job, made the windows and fogged them out so it looks a lot like the other truck. As far as mounting goes, I printed a little piece that hooks on the front of the chassis here, and then it's got another bar with a magnet on the front. And it comes with some magnets and body mounts that they weren't quite strong enough for me. So what this thing does now is it just hooks on the front of the chassis here and then snaps in place. Now this magnet is super strong. The magnets that came with it were kind of small, so I used one of the bigger magnets like I use on the big truck, and that's what I came up with. So this body is super nice. I did some trimming, took some of the body lines out, cut this fender little piece out, sanded it down, sanded it smooth so it looks more like the other truck. So I painted the headlights red to give a similar look to its big brother here, and just hand painted some silver on the grill, and I put some LEDs in the corner markers just so it give it that look. It doesn't have any, it doesn't light up or anything. It's just for looks. But added a few little stickers to give it that kind of look. I put, the big truck it's a Junior Mortician body from J Concepts. I cut the Junior off and just put Mortician on it because I thought Junior sounds kind of funny on that big truck. But I did take the Junior Mortician sticker and put on this one, so it's kind of like a smaller version of the same thing. So I thought it turned out pretty good. I painted it with some red primer, just like I did on that one, and then some black and some matte clear, and then sanded it down to give it a rough look. And it's already got some weathered marks from driving around. And this body's a little heavier than what I'm after for this thing to be such a good performer, but I couldn't not do it just for the looks. Anyway, we'll put that aside. So the wheels, this is the only wheel, it's almost identical to the one on this truck, the turbine wheel. So I couldn't not buy those. They're 1.3, and I wanted to use J Concepts ruptures, and I'm still going to, but they didn't have a 1.3 and they're not available right now. So for now, I got their Klingon tires with the yellow gel inserts. They were a little stiffer than what I wanted, so I cut every other little rib out of the outside to soften it up a little bit. So these are just temporary and just for the look. So I'm going to change to a 1.0 wheel of some sort and rupture tire, just so it's an exact match. But for now, they weren't available, and I had to do this just for the look, just for fun. The chassis is a Robski Fab chassis, the limited edition red. I thought that was pretty cool. This chassis is pretty unique in its one piece aluminum. The skids are built in, and it's folded over. The shock towers are all one piece. That's really cool. It's got a lot of breakover. Comes with the links and everything, so that made my job a lot easier. So I printed just a stock SCX24 skid. I tried a flat skid, but it raised the motor up too much and it ended up hitting the chassis, so I ended up with that. So the axles are Muse axles, the ones with the double CVD. This thing has incredible turning radius. Pretty happy with those. Now it has an optional gear for the rear for overdrive, so it gives you more, underdrive, so it gives you more overdrive in the front. I think it's like 17% or 14% or something. So you can't really see it, it's tucked in there. You can see up in there, it's a hot racing transmission, this overdrive transmission that has, I think it's 14 or 17%. Either way, the two combined, the overdrive in the axles and the overdrive in the transmission, gives it a total of, like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 29% overdrive. That's as much as I could get in it. So the shocks are Injora shocks. I thought I was ordering some oil filled shocks. Turns out I was not. Didn't know what I was ordering, and I figured I got them. I might as well try them. They seem to be working pretty good. That one's loose there. So that took a little dialing in to get it to work right. I ended up going one position down on the front on the shocks just because I needed motor clearance to the drive shaft. So turned out pretty good. The drive shafts, I ordered Injora Gladiator drive shaft set. Turns out the front was too long, so I don't have it sitting here somewhere, but I cut on the stock one, the Injora one for the front, and I got to TIG weld it back together to make it fit. This thing is so tight. I ended up using a stock SCX24 shaft, which that thing has popped out once on me already. So I'm eventually going to finish putting my Injora metal one back together to fix that. So the clearance is super tight on that with the motor. The ESC, and the ESC is the Injora, the new MBL 32. It's like an AM32 style ESC. I wanted to buy that and the combo with the SCX24 motor, but that motor was out of stock, so I ended up buying the 2000 kV Fat Viper motor, which is it's fatter, and had to grind out the chassis just a little bit to get it clear. It's really close. All the clearances with that thing are really tight. So that thing comes with an adapter and the gears to go to your transmission, and that worked out really well. So I printed a piece that's like an S shape, so it double size tapes to the chassis, so the ESC goes on there, the receiver goes on there upside down on top of that, and then the on-off switch back there, real tight. Everything on this thing is super tight. So the battery is just velcroed in. I've only got one battery. I've got to get some more. This is a tiny little thing, 300 milliamp hour from Tattoo Racing, little drone battery. I'm gonna redo this and make it a 3D printed piece to mount it to. It's been fine. Hadn't come out or anything. I just want to make it a little tighter so it's a little more sturdy. But real happy with that. And then last but not least, the servo is an NSDRC RS100 Micro, limited edition red with comes with the horn. I'm really impressed with those. These axles come with all the linkage and everything. It's got brass knuckles. They're all aluminum. Got the servo mount and everything. So I bought the rear cover for the NSDRC RS100 that lets the wire come out straight, and then I just shoe glued it to the back so it tightens up the wires. So then I take this out of the way, ran the wire down here with one zip tie and shortened the length of the line so it's not excess wire going everywhere. And I'll probably do that eventually with this wire as well, so I just got it coiled up for now. The shocks are what's key to making it have the climbing ability it does. I went with the softer springs in the front and a couple of hair bands to keep those cinched down. That seemed to work out pretty good. So then when I tune the back, you can see sits a little crooked there. Did all this tuning on the incline board to get it. I did get it to pull 64.7 degrees. I'll have maybe I'll put a little clip of that in the video too. So similar tuning to what I do on my big truck to make it work as well as it is. It's kind of key to this thing when it gets really steep incline. It wants to torque twist really bad, especially with the no oil filled shocks. So I've got, it wants to twist this way, right? So went with one stiffer spring on the right than the left, and ended up with 2 hair bands. And this was, like I say, this is not just guessing and throwing something together. This actually works. I actually tuned it on the incline board, so sits a little crooked when you pick it up and just a tiny bit like this, but that was the key to make this thing work as good as it does. So there it is. Super impressed with this. It's really fun. So this is how it turned out. I'm super happy with it. I'm going to get this thing out to Moss Rock, and hopefully we'll have a little video coverage and show you how it works. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are back out at Moss Rock. I've got my Poise truck with new shock set up. I'm gonna do a separate video on that, and my new Mini-Me 24 scale version SCX 24 based truck that looks a lot like it. The Junior Mortician I've got on there. Got more Mortician on this one. So we're gonna get out here. I only got one battery so far because I was test fitting the size. So we're gonna see if we can get a little bit of footage and see what it'll do. So stay tuned, and here we go. there we go. This little guy is a blast. Very happy with the test. That was so much fun. I got to get more batteries, so that's only one battery pack I have, so that's about all I could do. I want to just keep going, but looks like next time I'll have more batteries with me and get to have a little more fun. So the lines are totally different, of course, because it's so much smaller, but it did some really impressive stuff. I'm really happy with it, so really pleased. So we'll have more coverage of it. Next time I'll have more batteries out. Maybe we'll get a couple other guys with theirs out, and we'll try it again. But so far, so good. I love this thing. It's a blast. So I'm super happy. This is my Mini-Me truck. Looks just like my big truck. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll have more coverage coming soon. I'll get a little more dialed in, and see you next time. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.